Good morning, everyone. My name is Jacqueline Donato. I am the strategic program manager of the Queens Chamber of Commerce. We are a non-for-profit business organization, and this year we are celebrating our 110th anniversary. We are very proud to say that the Queens Small Business Grant Program that provided up to $20,000 to local businesses, with the funding provided by the Steve Cohen, the new owner of the New York Mets, through the program basically ended, and the chamber was able to allocate $3.6 million to 186 local businesses, Queens businesses. At the Queens Chamber of Commerce, we run different programs. One of our marquee programs sponsored by the City of New York is Chamber on the Go. It's a mobile business support program that helps small business owners access free services without leaving your storefront, your store. This program, Chamber on the Go, looks to connect you with resources from the New York City Department of Small Business Services and also the Queens Chamber of Commerce. We canvass all Queens. We go from Astoria to Rockaway, from Whitestone to Ozone Park, Richmond Hill, all over Queens, and we are very, very proud of that. As we are preparing for reopening during the COVID-19 pandemic that affected all of us, we are very pleased to sponsor events and webinars and outdoors events, providing resources and information to small business owners. That is why we are here today with our very dear friend, Manli Lin, who is Economic Development Specialist for the U.S. Small Business Administration, SBA. And Manli is going to be talking about government grant opportunities, resources, and assistance for businesses like you. I look forward to work with all of you. I will share my contact information on the chat. We are broadcasting this presentation by Facebook Live and will be uploaded in our Queens Chamber of Commerce YouTube channel. We are here, the Queens Chamber teams, Mohammed Amin here with me, coordinating all this event. And Manli, welcome again, and the floor is all yours.
Okay, thank you, Jacqueline and the Queens Chamber of Commerce for holding this. Let me share my screen. Okay, so before I start, actually, I just want to remind everybody, today actually at 12 o'clock, the shuttle venue operator grants actually start application. So if you are qualified, please go to the website to see actually all the information is there. So I'm going to talk about the grants.gov. So because we know a lot of nonprofit or for-profit organization, they are looking for grants. So actually grants.gov is the website that actually you can go to. So the first, I just want to remind that actually if you are personal, okay, so federal agency doesn't publish the personal financial assistance actually in on this grants.gov. So this is for the organizations and entities support the government's development or management of government funded programs and projects. So for if you are looking for personal financial assistance, you can go to benefits.gov. So I hope that actually everybody can find opportunities here. So on the grants.gov homepage, the landing page, you can see actually a lot of programs that actually I want to go over with you. So, but you need to spend time to be familiar with the different navigations, how to find the information you like. So learn grants. Okay, you can see the top, they have different icons there. So when you click, the first one is Grants Learning Center. They also have videos actually, you can watch that. So grants 101. So what is a grant? Okay, so this is different kind of government funds. You know, they want to fund your ideas or projects that can provide public services and stimulate the economy. So there is a list actually called catalogs of domestic assistance, federal domestic assistance, CFDA. Later, actually, you will see all the links there. So this is a grant is there are different kind of form that federal financial assistance. I think including today's actually the sheltered venue operators grants actually is one of the federal financial assistance. That's why the applicants actually have to register on SAM.gov and actually have to compile with the regulation. Later we will talk about that. So you first, I think everybody want to find out what's available, what opportunities are there. So we will learn about that. But I just encourage you, actually, in the beginning, you will feel overwhelmed because it's so much information and you really need time to go to the detail to find those opportunities that best for you. So the grant life cycles, there are three phase. The first one is pre-award phase. So during this phase, actually, the agencies, actually the government agencies, they are planning, to how to disperse those funding and what's the qualification, all the rules. And then they were announced, okay? They were announced award phase will be award decision and the notification. So after they make decision and then we're notified, post on the website or send out to different channels to hope that everybody can be aware of those opportunities. Then post-award phase, this is implementation. So actually reporting and close out. So actually to get government contracting, you have a lot of responsibility after actually your work. For example, like SBA, we have our resource partner. We have a Small Business Development Center, Women Business Center, and SCORE. SBA funds them actually to conduct one-on-one counseling for us. So so from time to time, like every year, we have to we say review to review if they have done what they're supposed to do. So later I will tell you actually then they have to submit the report and we have to do the on-site review and then can close out. So this is for the pre-award phase. So the for applicants, actually you search for opportunities. So find actually what opportunities actually you are eligible, and not just eligible, you have to think about, is that mission match for your organization? If the best things is you already done so many things relate to the projects that they want to fund, that would be the best situation to develop your organization's goal. Okay, then you have to register with grants.gov. Okay, so you have to be in that system. So you especially you have to provide your financial, like your banking bank account information. Okay, so we will talk about that later. Register. Then you after find the opportunities, actually you complete your application. That sometimes can take weeks because usually have different procedures. You have to finish the first one and wait until it completed or activate, then you can continue go to the next procedure. So sometimes it take weeks. Okay, so a lot of things that actually my advice is you just set up your file, and for each of the opportunity or grants that you apply, you should save all the documents together. So that's when you apply for many opportunity or grants, actually it's very important you have all the documents. Actually you need to report later, and you need to review from time to time to see what's your responsibility. Okay, so you basically, actually, you normally you need your basic organization's information, and explain how and where, and you will do your work, the proposed work, and your financial data. So that's very important, your financial data. Later, actually, after we talk about the grants.gov, I want to use one good examples actually to show you actually what you have to do. Then the award phase for the grantor, they will notify the applicant. Okay. Then for applicants, actually, you will receive a notice of award. Then the funds were dispersed to you, and then you start your project, start working. Okay, so it's very important that recipients is responsible for meeting the administrative, financial, and programs, actually reporting requirements. So no matter what you do, actually you should keep all the records and materials prepared to submit, and also be reviewed. Okay, so the third phase will be post-award phase for the grantor. Okay, so you have to, after you report to them, let's go to the applicant first. Okay, you have to report for the financial report, and programmatic reporting, and also provide information about overall financial status, and of course your program performance. And the different grants, actually they have a different requirement. Some of the grants, they even want you have all your, because you apply for the grants to hire your staff actually to do the work. So you even have to keep the your time that actually your employees their time reports, actually working report. So different grants, actually you have to be really know the detail, what kind of report information that actually you have to submit to them later. So after you submit the reports, financial data, to the agency, then they will ensure that all the requirements are met, then complete all the closeout requirement. So I already mentioned financial technical report is very, very important. Just keep everything, be organized. So getting started, okay, there is a checklist here. So you can find that online too. I think I will send you the PowerPoint today, so you don't have to jot down the note. A lot of information. Okay, so the first things, actually you should be familiar with all the overall grants life cycle, so you know your status, whether you should check or follow up. Then determine your eligibility. See, don't waste your time if you are not eligible. I know a lot of people, they just send to all the, like grantors actually. But if you're not qualified, because each grant, they have their purpose, their, their basic, eligibility required. So just focus on those that actually you are eligible, and identify the right types of funding opportunities. Okay, like I mentioned, should be able to go to the same direction for your for-profit or non-profit organizations go. You don't want to just do something or just apply for something that actually doesn't match to your goal, then learn about the reporting requirement, okay? Because if you maybe, okay, you get the first grant and then you didn't really do a good job, so cannot meet all the requirement, then actually no other government agency actually will give you grant later, okay? So this your reputation will be ruined. So just be careful that when you apply, make sure actually you can complete the work, okay? And then search for the specific grant you will apply for. So now actually you really have to check all the requirements in detail, make sure you can do that. Confirm that you are eligible to apply, then register with grants.gov, then apply, okay? So the first one, actually, the first time you apply for grants, actually, you were understand and you were encounter actually a lot of questions. But after you do that, the first one, I think you will be you will feel much easier, okay, in the future. So who is eligible? Okay, so different grants from different agencies, so they all have different. So actually the first step is to know what type of organization you represent. So the following slide I will show you, they will ask you, okay, so they will mention what kind of organization can apply. So there are different, they have different categories here. Government organizations, or education organizations, or public housing organizations, nonprofit, for-profit, or individuals, or foreign applicants. So you choose the right one, fit for you. Then there is a good part called grant terminology. So they have all the, they explain everything in detail. So make sure you understand. If you see one terms that you're not familiar with, please find the definition. Okay, then the next one will be grant making agencies. So this is very important, okay, for you. You can see on the left side, they list all the government agencies, actually they provide grants. And the right side, actually, you can see, go to each of them, try to see that agency, what's their goal, what's their purpose actually to provide this kind of grant, and what kind of applicant actually will be qualified, and also what kind of community actually they want to help the public, okay? So sometimes they have specific community they want to help. Then the next one is grant systems. So here actually different websites, including sam.gov. That's I mentioned that actually, like right now, charter venue operator grants, they started today. So all the applicants actually have to register on sam.gov. So it's a database, okay? It's a database that actually, if any organizations want to do business with the government, like to get contract or to get financial assistance, have to be in that database. So government agency, if they are looking for vendors, they can go to that database. And also, most important things, you will provide your bank account information, so the agency can deposit money to your bank account directly. That's why I want to remind everybody, when you register, when you get a request a DUNS number before you can register on SAM, many nonprofit or for-profit organization will contact you. They will offer, to that you have to pay a fee. They can do something for you. Okay, so actually, please, you don't have to buy anything. Okay, those are all free actually. So unless actually you really think, somebody do that would be easier for you. Okay, but we just want to remind you, all the government agencies, those like especially sam.gov is free. Okay, or Get Duns number is free too. Then the next one, this one actually is just the policies. Just want to show you if you see any grants they mention according to one of the policies, then you can go to the detail. Okay, now we go to the grant programs. Okay, so you can see here, grant program, they have funding, finding. How can you find the grant programs? And then they tell you, I will go to each of the section here for you. For the right side, have the for personal benefit. So if you're not a for-profit or non-profit organization, just for individual, then you have to come here. Okay, it's not part of what the grants.gov. So finding grants programs. So here, okay, so you can find there are some of the grants actually awarded by the federal government and some awarded by non-federal entities. So for the federal grants, actually, you can find websites, actually, catalog of federal domestic assistance. That's where you can find those federal government's grants, okay? So for the non-federal grants programs, actually, you can find here, okay? So a lot of nonprofit organization and for-profit business also provide grants, okay, or other types of funding assistance. So you can find them here. Now we go to, I mentioned for personal benefits, actually, this is the website. There are several websites for you. So it's not grants.gov. Next one, grant careers. Actually, if you want to work for, helping people to serve the people want to apply for the grant, actually, there are different jobs here, grants management or financial management. So this is the important part. I really think everybody should understand before you apply. You have to understand the reporting and oversight process. Okay, so for FFATA, that's Federal Funding Accountabilities and Transparency Act. So right now they request, actually, the law requires that information about entities and organizations receiving federal funds to be disclosed to the public. So there is a website called usaspending.gov. So that we're including, your entities, okay, your entity's name, amount of the grant, funding agency, and location. So those actually will be published, okay, on the USA Spending. The federal award recipients, okay, we call prime awardees. So prime awardees, they can sub out. So maybe you can be the sub grantees. I hope that everybody, like a government contracting, start small. So be a sub grant awardees first. And when you be familiar, then maybe you can become a prime awardees. So sub-grantees, sub-grants awardees will submit your report to your prime awardees, and then prime awardees will submit to FFATA. Okay, so that's the process. So on the bottom here, if you are a sub awardees, you submit to your prime awardees, and then they will submit to a federal grant making agency. Types of oversight. So you can see here what kind of data that government award recipients actually have to be included in your report. The financial data, such as your expenses paid for with federal funds. Okay, how do you spend those monies is very important. You have to show and you have to prove compliance information to ensure the recipient is following federal regulations. So actually, you have to all the informations and proof actually. Then project data highlight your progress or community impact. So those are the things that actually you have to collect. You need to have those information because you are using the government's funding. So you have to show those reports, what's the progress or how you help the communities. Then the agency actually they have to because they have to show actually their money spent in the right place. Okay, so so we, like I mentioned, we have to like we have SBA gave a lot of funding to different organizations to help the community. So recently, actually, I just checked yesterday, they still have a Veterans Business Outreach Center. If you're interested to help veterans to start a business or grow their business, actually you can apply for the grant. And also it's coming up actually with for the new funding, actually you have $100 million actually the grants actually will give to the organizations that can help the small business about the SBA's relief, like a COVID-19 relief programs. So, so there are different ways actually we can, as an agency, actually, we have to make sure that actually, the awardees actually do their jobs. So including progress report means you have to report to the agency, and the agency will conduct the site visit. So we have to go to visit you and check all the documents and proof and audit. Next slide I will show that some of the grants actually they request to have audit. Okay, so this is the report that you have to submit, and then the agency actually we have to conduct the site visit. And the audit actually we SBA actually we hired or give contract to the CPAs. Actually they will conduct the auditing. Okay, so depends on the projects or grants. Actually some of them will be annually, some will be 3 years, depends on the agency's decision. So this is for reporting forms. So if you have a time, you should go there to take a look actually what actually you need to do. Okay, so reporting here, you have to understand the process, okay, the procedures, and then you have to know actually there are 3. I already mentioned the procedure and the forms here. Okay. The resources, okay, this is I feel very important. Actually, I think a lot of people are not aware of that actually. There are a lot of scams and fraud, and actually a lot of information. Okay, so this is all the websites actually you can report, especially like FTC. Right now we encourage people, if you know any scam or fraud, you should report. That's everybody's responsibility. But I want to share with you, this is a very interesting website. I hope actually, I'm thinking actually I will hold webinars actually to teach. I think everybody should learn about this, especially for children, for young people, for elderly. It's Better Business Bureau. So you can see here have different kind of scams. Okay, employment, online purchase, fake check, home improvement, advance fee loan. Okay, they say you give me some fees. Actually, I guarantee I will get SBA loan for you. Okay, or some loan for you. Now it's happening. Even romance scam. Okay, so tech support scams, investment, government grants. Same thing. They say you give me money, I guarantee I can get government grants for you. Nobody can guarantee to get government grants for you. Okay, travel and vacation, identity theft. Okay, this they have all the information, so it's very interesting and very important. Okay, so I think in the future, it's actually even the credit card. A lot of people I think most people think that will never happen to them. Okay, but actually a lot of victims actually. So I think everybody, that's how we should learn to prevent those happen to us or to the people that we know. So now go to the important part, how to search, okay, the grants. So you can go to the third icon here, search grants. There we'll go to the detail. So when you click, there are different ways you can search. Search by agency, search by years, search by projects. Okay, so I just use this one. The sort by here is posted date. Okay, so by date, maybe you heard somebody say, oh, actually recently there is one grant actually. So there are different filters actually you have to you have to enter, and then the date range, okay, from what year to what year. So you can see here, you will see the opportunity number. So you can see here right now I have 2,860 matches. Okay, I just enter just say different. Later I will show you the other slide. So you will see opportunity number. Okay, so in the future, I think the easiest way for everybody is you can go to different government agency that we had the list before, and then you subscribe. Okay, all the agency actually you can subscribe, and so when they will send you the information when they have events, when they have grants, or any information, they can send that to you. That will be the easiest way for you. You don't miss anything. Then the opportunity title, okay, then agency, so and the status, okay, posted date and close date. So depends, okay. For example, you can see this one. Some are very short windows, like 2 weeks. Some are 3 months. So it's all different. So you have to really search them. The next one for applicants. Okay, so this is the one that actually they have everything that applicant have to learn, to be familiar with. Okay, so I list here, check your eligibility. Okay, have to be nonprofit, for-profit, or small business, depends. Okay, get registered. Then you register here, then apply for grants. Then track your application. After you submit your application, you can track, see what's the status. Then actually, this one, compatibilities actually is very interesting. Okay, they can tell you some other informations actually you will maybe modified or follow up. Then they have applicant training, and also have FAQs, frequently asked questions. Those actually people ask questions, and then they see many people ask the same question, they will have FAQ. I find for the past year, because the PPP, the IDO, FAQ is really, really informative for everybody. And the last one is manage subscriptions. I mentioned that you should subscribe for different agencies that actually you think actually they have something for you. So here, okay, so this is application resources, workplace overview. So right now, this is important. They teach you, they have video too. and then eligibility, then you register with that your organization will register. So here, the same thing. Even the last one, encountering error messages, what will you do? So this one is more technical, like system to systems. So just put here for you. Then grant forms, okay? Grant forms here. So you have to check that to see actually what you need and what information you need to keep them. The connect with the grants.gov. This is the last important account that you can keep with you, how to contact them. Now I want to use one example to show you. So actually, small business, actually, there are 2 grants, okay, for small business. Only small business can apply, or people want to start a business. Even you don't have a business yet, you can apply for this. This is they call America's Seed Fund. The first one is Small Business Innovation Research Grant. The second usually we say SBIR. And then the second one is Small Business Technology Transfer Program. So we call STTR. So you don't have to be a scientist to apply for this grant. You apply, and then you have to plan, okay, that you think actually you can do that research, and then you get a grant, then you can hire somebody. Actually, you have to, for SBIR, you have to research principal researcher have to be your employees. Means you need to hire somebody to do that work. So you can see here for SBIR, every year they have the budget is $3.2 billion, and STTR is $450 million. And every year, more than 5,000 awardees actually. So I encourage everybody to pursue this, but have to be company must be for profit and U.S. owned or operated. Later we will go to the detailed qualification, and fewer than 500 employees. That's a small business, and the work, the research work have to be done in the U.S. So this is actually a fund for you to perform R&D, research and development. It's not for you to buy the equipment. So when I hold the seminars, a lot of people came to me and say, I invented this. How can I apply for the grants actually? So actually, if you already invented, actually it's too late. Okay, so for SBIR and STTR, the government agency, actually I will show you there are 11 government agency. The SBA, we coordinate those 11 agency. So they will post what projects actually they need, they need small business to help them to invent or create something and can be commercialized, can be used by the community. Okay, so so that's the purpose, not just for you to buy the equipment or to produce those your invention. So this is the just let you know, no matter what grants actually they will have the detailed information. So you have to read carefully. You understand what their requirement. So like this one, they have 3-phase process. During the phase 1, up to 1 year, you will get $250,000. And then go to the second, the phase 2 is up to 2 years, you will get up to $1.5 million. And then phase 3 actually is commercializations actually. So that time actually there's no SBIR funding for you. So why is that important? When you look at this, you say phase 3, there is no SBIR funding. So what can you do? So actually when you write a proposal, you have to think about, you know, especially if you are during the phase 2, you have to think about after you create or invent something, you know, who, you know, where to get the money to commercialize, to produce those invention. So either find, you know, you have somebody in mind or some business in mind, that investors, or you can see some of the projects, actually the agency, actually they will buy it, then that become the government contract. Or you can find other agencies, actually they want to buy it. Okay, so you have to think about that from the beginning. You have, when you write a proposal, actually you have to see the future, okay, for the commercialization, not just focus on the technical, just think I can do that, I can hire somebody to do that. But actually what happened after you invent that or create that. Okay, so just keep in mind that um, you have to think far. Okay, and that's how they make decisions actually. Okay, so SBS role, actually, I won't go to the detail. We oversight and guidance those programs. So we make sure that small business will get those awards, and you know, those agencies, actually they should do whatever they are supposed to do. Later, there's one slide actually I will show you. So please go to sbir.gov. Actually, you can find them, actually the opportunities actually in grants.gov. Okay, but you know, specifically if you want to apply for this grant, you can go to sbir.gov. You can find those award details, you know, by state or firm or technology area or agency. So when you enter different filters, actually they can show you. And then also have agency activities and funding levels. There's a chart, and geographic by the state, and program trends. So they have annual reports, actually tell you maybe you're not ready for this year, and then you can, you know, see maybe next year or 2 years later. They also have a resource tab, you know, on the top here. You click on it. Have FAQs and also have a conference presentations. They post all the PowerPoint there, okay, and also have SBIR economic impact studies. Okay, those are the report. So a lot of information. So how can you start search? You know, topic search here. Okay, so you enter you know, keyword, like you can by the agency or, you know, different by the topics, depends on your industry. Okay, so those they did a good jobs actually. I remember 10 years ago the website actually is not so organized, so it's difficult to navigate. Now it's excellent. Then keyword search. Okay, so you can see actually those companies, what companies actually or organizations actually they got the funding before. Okay, so you also can identify what agency investment in technology areas. So it depends on what's you are looking for. Okay, I find I think most of the business actually or nonprofit organization, they enter what they're doing, but just have to sometimes if you enter the keyword, you have to enter the words maybe broader. Okay, broader definition, not too specific. So will be easier for you to find it. Then the best things actually, they have online tutors. There are 55 courses, okay, for you. So that's very interesting. So this is, you can see, you know, 2019 actually, you can see here, Department of Defense, okay, $1.8 billion net, okay, and HHS, this is Department of Health and Human Services. NASA is a good big one. Department of Education is a big one. National Science Foundation. Okay, so you can see actually those agencies actually they really have big budgets actually for the SBIR. So now we go to see actually what is SBIR. So first I was just want to remind everybody it's very competitive. Okay, it's you submit your proposal and then they will make decision. So that's why I remind you before, you have to not just, your goal is not just to get a grant. Your goal is to help your future, your business future or your organization's future. So you should find something. Um, just think about that. Actually, even you didn't get the funding, because you communicate with that agency, you communicate with that, that project manager, and actually you have learned a lot and you really do the research actually, then I think that will be the best, because even you didn't get the funding that year, you can, your business actually, that's your goal. Okay, you go to the same direction, like you are the captain of the ship actually, so have to go to the same direction. Okay, so it's very competitive. Especially you have to learn how to write a proposal. It's not easy in the beginning, okay, but they provide a lot of assistance. Later I will show you. So first, okay, so actually they encourage you actually explore your technological potential. So that's why I say, because you talk to the agency, you will learn a lot of things actually, what's the market, how big the market, and what technology actually, resources can help you. So this is can help the startups. We know a lot of like SBS financing, if you are a startups, is limited. Okay, so even your startups and development stages actually, if you can create something, invent something, actually is good grants for you. Okay, but keep in mind the goal, final goal is commercialization. So this is the 11 agency that SBA we coordinate with. You can see here, agricultural, commerce, defense, education, energy, health and human services, transportation, environmental protection, NASA, and National Science Foundation, and Nuclear Regulatory Commission. So like Department of Education, I just want to share a success story with you. We have emerging leaders, a graduate. She got $1.7 million actually. Then she hired a professor at Columbia University. So they invented a virtual game to educate children about ocean or different topics. Okay, so it's broad than what you think. And the agency, when they post the topics or projects, they post questions or problems they want to solve. They won't tell you the details actually how to solve the problem. Especially now you can see Department of Health and Human Services, they have a lot of projects to prevent some problems actually in different communities. So but like a National Science Foundation, they're very special. They don't tell you what they're looking for. They encourage any creative projects actually. You can talk to them, you can submit to them. Okay. So SBA, we coordinate with the 11 agency. We direct them. They have to be implemented actually the SBIR. We review their progress and we have to report. We have to get all the data, information, report to Congress. So then those 11 agencies, they have to select their topics and they have to release. Normally is annually, but like Department of Defense, they usually quarterly, they will announce their projects. And then they have to evaluate those proposals and they will make decision then to award those awardees. So the qualification for SBIR have to have fewer than 500 employees, have to be independently owned and operated, have to be for profit, and the principal place have to be in the US, and more than 51% owned by US citizen or lawfully like permanent resident aliens. Okay, and the following, this is very important. The principal researcher have to be your employee. Okay, have to be hired by you. So it's not you just have an independent contract or something. The last one, 2/3 of the IND, you have to work in phase 1, you have to do 2/3 of the IND. And phase 2, you have to do at least half of the R&D. The other parts, actually, you can outsource. So the competitive, okay, what's the procedures? First, you have to register as SBA's company registry, and you will get your SBC. SBC is Small Business Concern. There's Small Business Control ID and a PDF file. Those two items, actually, you have to when you submit anything to those 11 agencies, you need to have those two items actually on any of your submission papers. And then you submit your proposals. Then as the agency will make decision based on. So this is important for you to know your qualification. So you have to be a small business. Degree of innovation. Of course, they want to see what how you can invent something. Then technical merit, and the last one, future market potential. So you do the research, you have to make sure. So I emphasize because I saw a lot of, especially if you're in technology, you want to emphasize actually what you can invent, but you have to think about the market potential too. Okay, so that's very important in your proposal. So agency will post solicitation on their site, okay, on their website, and also grants.gov that we already mentioned. All the federal government's grants have to be in the grants.gov. So in general, okay, the SBA phase 1, you have to include the following components. The first one, your business plan. So actually, I encourage everybody to have your business plan and modify from time to time. Executive summary and the proposal part, there are two parts. One is cost, one is technical. So I suggest actually you should have two people. One is write the cost proposal, somebody know the financial part, and the other ones do the technical proposal, and then you can combine both. That will be your proposal. So phase 1, up to 150K, you can use that during 6 months, but sometimes can extend. It depends on the project. So during these 6 months, actually, you don't have to do the R&D yet. You just explore the technology, the technical merit. Just explore the possibility, okay, what you should invent. For example, Department of Education, they tell you they, especially now, I think they need more programs actually to educate because kids, they are at home, right? So when you, during your phase 1, you just explore actually the possibility that you can invent different kinds of educational tools or materials actually for that purpose. Okay, then the last one, feasibility. If you just you have to show that actually use the money and the budget that you propose, actually you can finish that work. So I know that actually most of the business actually they want to get contract or a grant, but okay, but if you have to think about for example, one business told me, they say actually they were offered to get a government contract, but they want to do that, but actually they will lose money because the budget is too low. So she has to refuse that one. So because actually you need to make profits or keep your business going. So for competitive basis, okay, they were evaluate actually by comparison. So I know that actually when everybody submit their proposal, they think they are the best, but actually sometimes because the comparison always have somebody have some unique ideas or something. So just keep trying. So scientific and technical merit and feasibility is very important, and potential commercialization is very important, and also agency requirement. What's that mean? Okay, so some agency actually, because they want to help the small business or disadvantaged business or women business or veterans business, so they can have some set aside percentage for those categories. So phase 2 can go up to $1 million, for 2 years. So during the phase 2, actually, you have to do the R&D, the work, okay? But you also have to develop, actually evaluate those commercialization potential. They don't want to keep those inventions just in the lab, have to be commercialized and also be used by the society. So only phase 1 awardees, actually, you can go to the phase 2. So phase 2, actually, you have to consider, I already mentioned, okay, what will happen, for the phase 3, there is no funding for you to produce. So you have to think about maybe a private sector investor, they want to help you or buy from you, a government or government contractor. This is like other agency, maybe they need that too. So phase 3, there is no funding, so there's no limitation, there's no reviews or control. Okay. So I already mentioned most solicitation are annually, but each agency, they have to post the topics, okay, must describe the needs, okay, and cannot prescribes their solutions. Like I mentioned, they tell you there is a problem they want to solve. Okay, so they cannot give you the hint of what's the direction. So this is for the list of topics. Okay, so this then agencies contact the information and contact point means the contact person. Okay, contact points is very important. Most of them actually they are either the college, many are college professors or somebody familiar with that project. Then release date, closing date, and the last one is important: estimated number and average dollar amounts. So you have an idea. For STTR, I mentioned that this is for technology transfer program. So what's the difference between this one and the previous one? There are 5 agencies participate in this one. Okay, so the difference, phase 1 actually, same thing. Okay, this is up to 1 year. So 150,000, the next 2 years can go up, usually it's over $1 million. Okay. Phase 3, same thing. There's no funding. So the difference, STTR, okay, of FTTR is small business have to find a nonprofit research institution to work together. Okay. So so the small business have to do more than 40% of the R&D, and nonprofit institution actually have to do more than 30%. So for the nonprofit research institution have to be located in the US, and most of the time are the colleges or university or domestic nonprofit research organization or federally funded R&D centers. So I already mentioned this, okay? Small business have to do more than 40% and research institution do more than 30%. Can partially, if you can, you have to hire or subcontract actually, so you can join together or separated. Okay? And a business can participate in both SBIR and STTR simultaneously, okay? So that's a good news, but you cannot perform the same or essentially similar work under more than one contract or grant. Collect funding, okay, collect funds more than once for the same work is fraud. So this is the office for SBIR, STTR. You can contact them. So the next steps, you check those solicitation, and you can apply, and you should participate in their events, and you should take a look at the past award winners to see who got those in the past, so you can compare yourself or learn from your those business actually. Okay, so you should familiar with those policy directly too. So the next things I want to share with you is the proposal writing or IP protection. Those are very important as an inventor. Okay, so before you start write your proposals, okay, so you should understand the past procurements. Okay, you can search the public records or close solicitation topics, then talk to your potential customers. You have to understand, okay, and also build up the good relationship with them. That's very important. They can help you. Usually they will help you to understand, and no matter it's financial part or technical part. And then you should do your homework, okay? So usually many of the agency would provide a list of references actually to a particular topic. So you should do your homework, okay? Especially if the project manager, you should search actually their books or their papers. So this is a checklist. I want to prepare this for you, okay? So you should look at the prior awards, okay, in similar areas. And you should talk to those technical points of the contact person, and you should build a good relationship with those those topics too. And also you should read those reference, okay, and topics or like authors publication and agency research. And then you have to see those trade journals actually related to this research. And then any other journal covering your topics. And then you have to search to learn from your past awardees actually. And do you have commercial customer interest in your ideas? Those actually you have to think that in advance. And when you submit the proposal, actually that's very important part too. And then you registered on grants.gov or the agency's website. Then you have to receive a registration completion notice. If you didn't receive that, some people they think they already submit, but until you receive that notice, maybe you didn't submit. Okay, and then this is the SBA's registry for the SBIR. It's very important. You have to be there. So when you write a proposal, actually, it's very important. You have to have all the information ready, okay? About the organization, their outline, how many pages, their fund requirement, okay? Even the size of the fund is 12 or 10, they all have requirement and required attached form. So get all the information. So there is one good tips, okay? So when they have the outline, those information, you have to, of course, new documents, blank documents. Actually, you start writing your proposal. So the best way is copy and paste. Okay, all the requirements actually on your document, and then so you won't miss anything. Okay, so that's very important, and especially the page count. Okay, don't go over the number. Okay. This is the outline of the proposals. The Department of Defense, actually most of the agency, actually they have some samples of the proposal. So this is one samples. You can, this is a, what's the, what should be included. So this is one sample. This is the pages, usually 7 to 25 pages, but depends. Okay, so please make sure don't go over that number. So this outline, I already mentioned that actually you don't miss anything. You have to read that. And the budget is very important. You have to figure out actually how much money you need actually to complete that invention. Okay, and so this is for your internal review process. Okay, you should discuss with your team who do those works, and then you combine them together. So this is a good part. Actually, there are sample proposals for you. Okay. For IT consideration, that's very important because the invention. So I won't go to the details, and because this is only for SBIR, STTR, but for others, okay. For others grants, actually, you just have to know, there is a one fee for profits, means actually when you write a proposal, you have to include that for the fee. Other than there is one here. Normally, a 7% fee is the maximum the government allow. Okay, so you have to know those basic. So there are cost of proposal resources. Okay, a lot of resources. So just want to go through this website with you, sbir.gov, find funding. Okay. So here, 18 pages, actually, they tell you the eligibility. Okay. Sorry, so about the bus. Okay. So you can see fundings, they have all in details, different items. And this is when you open the solicitation, this is they look like exactly the same like grants.gov. And then this is, you can see each of the funding topics. Okay, you click on that, you can see that. The official link for this solicitation. Okay, this is the link. You can search in different way. Okay. Then you can search by topics. They have a different, on the left side, actually, you can choose, okay? And on the top too, depends on the topics. They have a lot of data to show you, okay, for each of the agency or for each of the programs, actually, how much actually they spend or they close. And this is the company list, okay? So see which company they got that before. This is for IP information, okay? So I know I just want to provide the information, let you know, actually have, a lot of resources, a lot of opportunities there. So, but you need to find time actually to explore those websites to get the information, okay? So this is my email address. I really hope everybody find more opportunities. So So government contracting and grants actually, they have a lot of simulation. Okay, so they all you all have to comply with the regulation. So the best thing for you is to learn about each of the grants or those opportunities, and then we are here to help you. Okay, so please just help the small business and also help the community, help the agency. Actually, they need your expertise actually to help the community and also the government. Thank you. So
Thank you,
Jacqueline.
Manli. Yes, thank you, Manli. We have a series of questions on the webinar, on the chat. I responded some of, I shared some of the websites that you mentioned, and also I shared information and the link of people is asking how to get the DUNS number. I think that is a question that we answered already.
Okay, yeah, DUNS number, actually, you can go to the website or you can just Google DUNS number.
Yeah.
They will show you the link, the website. But I just want to emphasize it's free, okay? Don't pay, don't buy, you don't have to buy anything.
Thank you. Anthony's asking if this is a one person running LLC, an individual or for profit.
Depends on how you register. Depends on the different agency. Maybe they're allowed, but maybe they don't allow. Okay.
Rose is asking, what is the difference between searching FFFTA versus searching grants.gov for grants?
No, actually, the same thing, actually. Okay, so grants.gov including more, but FFTA is domestic, those opportunities.
Thank you. Setia is asking, could you please expand on sub-awardee situations?
Okay, for government, like a contract or award, actually, sometimes actually the big company, they can get a big award and then they can sub out. So you are the sub awardees, okay? Like a subcontractor, same thing.
Thank you. One more question here. Before submitting a grant application, does one need to register on sam.gov and then on grant.gov, or it is two independent, separate source of grants?
Yeah, it's different. Okay, so SAM actually is a database for the government contracting or federal government's financial assistance. Grants is only for apply for grants.
Thank you. Charles is asking, what is the time frame from researching grants to begin awarded a grant?
Oh, that depends actually. Some agencies actually would be longer. So because you can see those 11 agencies, for SBI or STTR, they really depend on each of the agencies. So you have to go to their agency to find that.
Thank you, Manli. There is a question about empowerment zones. Are there some research grants set aside for empowerment zones?
I cannot answer that question. I think you can research that. There are so many, but if they're not SBS program, I don't know about that.
Thank you. Costas is asking, you mentioned in programming for education. Can you outline which agencies are involved in this type of grants?
Okay, I think the Department of Education is the first one, and then Science, National Science Foundation. Okay, because now for kids at home, or they really need educational materials.
Thank you. This is a question regarding the DUNS number. It is the same DUNS number for government contract?
Yeah, you only have one DUNS number. Okay.
Thank you. Susan is asking, what should we do if our SAM.gov doesn't match with our IRS? I'm sorry, SAM doesn't match with our IRS.
SAM doesn't match with your IRS. I don't get that question. So when you enter your information in SAM, you should enter those information on your IRS form.
Yeah,
That's
I
very
read that
important.
you need to enter the EIN number and other
Right.
details about your company.
Right.
Yetunde is asking if they can get grant for a startup business.
Depends on what kind of work you can do. Like I mentioned, SBI or STTR, that can be startups. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to remind all the participants that we are sharing the PowerPoint presentation, Manly.
Yes, if you can send me the list, I will send
Sure.
everybody the PowerPoint.
Yeah, we have a very good group of participants today. We're going to share you the Excel file with all the participants here, and also a data that we collected at the Queen's Chamber of Commerce for people who registered. They show some interest and for some reason they could not attend, but they are requesting either of the presentation and the link of our YouTube channel where we're going to have this very important presentation. Manli, any final remarks on today's webinar?
Yeah, thank you, Queen's Chamber. I think during the new year, I hope everybody can find more opportunities. There are two huge markets. One is a global market. The other one is government contract. I really encourage you, everybody should learn and then find opportunity and maybe work together to get a contract or to get a grant.
Thank you. That is what we all want, grants, right?
Right.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, all the participants. Thank you, Manli and SBA, for sharing your expertise. The Queen's Chamber of Commerce invite you to visit our website. I share on the chat my email address and the website, and more than happy to be here.